beneficial to us in terms of application. Okay. So for that, we're going to start the next chapter, that is biotechnology and its applications. All right, everyone, switch on your videos quickly. Where are the rest of the students? Only one student is there in the class. Where are the rest of you?
Ma'am, I'm having issues with my camera today.
Khadija?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So today we're going to start with the chapter called as biotechnology and its application. See how colorful I made it for you. Do you like it? Is it good?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Does it instill an interest in the chapter?
Yeah.
No. How dare you say
Yeah.
no? Yeah, yeah. Say yes.
Yes.
See, this chapter is very nice. This one is not as tedious as the biotechnology one. I don't know, like, when I was in class 12,
You said the same thing for the first one.
I said the same thing for
The first
this
chapter.
because I like that chapter. Okay. I don't know why you people didn't like it, or you people had such a hard time in understanding the topics. But is like, do you people still have doubts in that chapter? I think you do.
No, ma'am.
No?
No.
Okay, as long as you don't have a doubt, then that's great. But if you do have a doubt, please come to me with your doubts, okay? It's all right to have a doubt. It's okay. I really don't understand the you can say weird concept, or the weird thing behind that. You people did not like that chapter. I don't know how, but okay, this chapter is good. It's all story, nice. It's not a lot of brain to be used. It's like very superficial. Okay. Now, see, we have talked about the various kinds of processes, right? We have talked about how we actually develop a recombinant DNA technology, how we can incorporate or make the substances we want in much more amount, and then how can we release it into the market. But the question comes along that, okay, whatever we have studied, how are we actually going to bring it to practical use? It was all theoretical, right? So now we're going to see the practical uses of it. See, the field of biotechnology can be used in so many, you can say, so many different applications it has. The first one being medicine. You people know what insulin is? All of you know insulin? Where is it released from?
Pancreas?
Pancreas, correct. So many people have that disorder wherein they can't synthesize insulin. Okay. So there are many kinds of diabetes. So development of the insulin with the help of microorganisms. Imagine that comes under biotechnology. Okay. There are so many applications like therapeutics. Many gene therapies can be done using biotechnology. Then diagnostics, many diseases, or you can say many genetic disorders, many different kinds of diseases, they can be actually detected with the help of biotechnological processes. Then comes bioremediation. See, bioremediation is the use of biotechnology for the environment, for sustainable development. Okay. Then comes agriculture, the biggest and the most, you can say, bizarre use of biotechnology is in the field of agriculture. Because normally, when you think about agriculture, what comes to your mind? Whenever, if I say agriculture,
Farm.
Farming?
farming, yes. And when you think about farming or farmers, what do you think? Like they sow the seeds, they
Yeah.
water the land, they plow the land, and all of those things, and then they reap whatever the product is, right? That is the conventional agriculture or conventional farming procedures, right? Conventional, you people understand the basic, the old way of the method. But then after, you can say, there are so many things that are used in the agricultural field that is actually harmful for the environment also, and it is not very reliable also. So we come along with, like, we'll come across all of those things in the agriculture department of this particular application area. Then comes waste management. It used to be waste management. I have written waste management. So waste management or waste treatment, you people have already seen how the primary treatment, secondary treatment, tertiary treatment was done, right? Remember? In which chapter was that topic?
Microbes and
Microbes. Okay. So in waste treatment also biotechnology is used. Then in the food science. Okay, it is used in the food science also as to how to keep the food like have a longer shelf life, how that it doesn't get bad, even if you do, like, if you handle the food item very roughly or very irresponsibly, still it will not go bad. So all of those things come under the application of biotechnology. And the last one is energy production. Energy refers to like how coal, petroleum, and all of these things in like these generate energy for the vehicles, right? And then there is electricity power plant and everything. So that can also be done with the help of biotechnology. Now, in this particular chapter, we have three basic, you can say, biotechnological applications that we are going to focus upon. It's not all of them. We are going to focus upon how biotechnology is helpful in the field of agriculture, the first one. Okay. Then we are going to discuss how is it helpful in the field of medicine, healthcare. And lastly, we are going to discuss how is it helpful in the environmental protection or bioremediation, or you can say sustainable development. Clear? Now, biotechnological applications in the field of agriculture. So now we know that the population is increasing day by day, right? And since the population is increasing, so is the need of land to live, so is the need of food to eat, clothes to wear, right? Health services and everything. Everything is increased in demand. Now, in this chapter, since we're talking about agriculture, so obviously we'll be going to talk about the food, right? Since the population is growing, the food requirement is also growing. Now, if you think about the conventional farming practices, the normal simple farming practices, what do they rely on for their vegetation? What do they rely on? What is the one natural resource that they rely on?
soil,
Okay, soil. Then
water,
soil is there. Soil is what they have in reach. Apart from soil, the biggest thing that they rely on,
fertilizer,
no, rain, irrigation. For the huge tracts of land, they need irrigation, right? Water. Obviously, without water, how would the plant grow? So, biotechnology has been applied to the field of agriculture so that the need of those conventional things is reduced. Okay, the need of those things are reduced. Now, there are three methods to increase the food production, all in all. The first one is agrochemical based agriculture. Based. Agrochemical based agriculture. Agro refers to the agriculture only, the chemical, right? Now, see, this one, in this particular case, wherein there is the usage of agrochemicals, meaning the chemical products that are used in agriculture, such as what? Pesticides like insecticides, herbicides, fungicides to protect the crop. Apart from that, they also use chemical fertilizers to provide nutrients. You will know that fertilizers and manure are used to give much nutrients to the plant, right? So this is the basic, like the conventional farming practices that we were discussing. This is it. Agrochemical based agriculture. After that comes the organic farming. Have you people heard about organic farming before? Like organic food, like organic vegetables, they sold in the market, right? Organic vegetables. What are organic vegetables? Those are the vegetables that are not grown with the help of fertilizers. They do not have even a single drop or single trace of fertilizer or chemical pesticide insecticides in them. And we do know that, okay, even if the fertilizers, pesticides, these all things are helping the crop production be good, but it is very harmful for us because it is chemical, right? And it will, if it gets inside our body, then a lot of diseases can be caused. If it goes to the soil, goes into the deeper layers of the soil, then it will cause the soil pollution also. Now, organic agriculture or organic farming is when we do not harm the nature. We do our work, we do not harm the nature. We use manure, which is like natural fertilizer. I'll write it here. Manure is the natural fertilizer. Then we also use biofertilizers, like certain organisms that live in the soil and they don't degrade the crop. What is that one example? Any organism that lives in the soil and it will not degrade the crop of that soil.
Worm.
Birds.
It's a worm.
Birds live in the soil.
No, ma'am.
Squirrel. Squirrel is arboreal.
It's a worm. I don't know the name of it.
Worm. You're saying worm.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you're right. Earthworms. Earthworms are those organisms that live in the soil. And if you may remember, if I don't know if I've ever said it in class 12th or not, but earthworms are the farmer's friend. Why are they farmer's friend? Because they are a great source of decomposition. Like they decompose a lot of organic matter and make nutrients available to the plants. Then there is the use of biopesticides, certain organisms that will control the pest. Not chemicals, but bio refers to the living things. So these are the living things that will control the pests. Then biocontrol, again the same thing, to increase the crop production instead of using artificial fertilizers and pesticides. Clear? Now, if you look at the first one, and if you look at the second one, the first one is basically chemical, artificial, and everything, right? The second one is natural and all things good and perfect. But what do you think is one common thing between them? Like, why, if I say that neither is the organic farming practical, nor is the agrochemical practical, why would you think so? You'd be like, ma'am, are you crazy?
It's too costly. Too
Very
costly.
good. Yes. Cost. It's not cost effective. Because even if a person is buying manure, even if a person is buying the biofertilizers, he still has to pay money for that. And as far as the chemical fertilizers and all of these things go, they still have to pay money for that, isn't it? So that is sort of like a limitation to it. Now comes genetically engineered crop-based agriculture. Genetically engineered. This is when we use the biotechnological application, like processes, to make a genetically modified crop. Now, I have taught you what genetic modification is, right? Who will tell me what is genetic modification? It doesn't have to be a bookish language, just explain it to me. See, students, I understand that you don't like the chapter, but at least you can try. You can try. Because I try my best, so you should do that too. Genetically modified. See the name and tell me. It's there in the name. Why do you have to think about it so much?
Modifying the gene.
Genetically modified genes. Explain it to me. That's what I'm saying. Where are the rest of the students? Please unmute and speak. It feels like I only teach these two students. Tell me, what is a genetically modified crop? GMO. You people remember GMO? No. No one remembers GMO? See, genetically modified crop, like it's basically like I ask the question, I give the answer. So basically, I'm here to teach myself. See, genetically modified crop are those crops that have their genome altered, meaning their DNA sequence is altered in such a way that they have different properties now. That is a genetically modified crop. It can be a genetically modified any animal also. Any, like we say GMO, GMO means genetically modified organism. Now plant, animal, anything can come along. This much is clear. I don't think there's anything hard about it up until now. Sure?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then comes green revolution. See, before we actually dive into what the topic chapter is about, we are going to see a lot of peripherals. There are so many stuff that I don't think it's necessary, but it's there in the book, so we have to study about it. See, green revolution was a time period wherein the crop production increased a lot, tripled. Like normally it was not increasing, and then there came a time wherein due to certain practices, due to certain new methods and stuff, the production of crops increased 3 times. The person who is the pioneer of this, pioneer, you understand, the one who established this thing of green revolution, his name is Norman E. Borlaug, and he is known as the father of green revolution. Now, green revolution is a period in which significant increase in agricultural productivity of grains, particularly of wheat and rice, in the 20th century. In the 20th century, when there was a significant increase in the production of wheat and rice crops, that period was known as the green revolution. Okay? Now, why it happened? It happened because the crops that the farmers started to use, they were high yielding crops, meaning they were resistant to the stress. They had better chances of survival. So they were high yielding crops. Yield, you understand? How much crop is grown through them, right? Then second, better management practice came along. Better management practice meaning they knew how to water the crop better, meaning irrigation was better, plowing was better, all of these things. Better management of the crop, like once the crop is harvested, how it should be stored so as to not spoil it and all of these things were better. And then the use of agrochemicals, meaning they started to use fertilizers and pesticides. And obviously, if the fertilizers and pesticides are used, then that means that the the pest will not attack the plant, right? It will not attack the crop. And secondly, when the fertilizer is used, chemical fertilizer, it means that all the minerals, all the nutrients will be provided to the plant in a much better, right? Now, because of this very reason, the food supply was tripled. Okay, but still it wasn't enough to feed the growing population because the population was growing day by day. It's still growing is day by day. Apart from that, there came big limitations that many farmers in the developing countries, just like how India is a developing country, there are many other countries also that are underdeveloped or developing. So for them, the agrochemicals, particularly the pesticides, the fertilizers, these were very expensive to have because we know that farmers are not very rich, isn't it? They do the best work, but still they're not very rich. They don't get paid enough. So they did not have money to use these things for farming. Secondly, we know that since agrochemicals were used, it is obviously harmful, isn't it? This much is clear. It's all story. The story is clear. Okay, now you people can note down till here. Then we'll move forward.
Done, ma'am.
Everyone's done?
Yes, ma'am.
Done, ma'am.
Done, ma'am.
Done, ma'am.
Done, ma'am.
Everyone's done?
Yes, ma'am. Done, ma'am.
Done? Everyone's done?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Done, ma'am.
Everyone's done?
Yes, ma'am. Done.
Done, students?
Yes, sir. Done, ma'am.
Done, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Done, ma'am.
Everyone's done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any doubts up until now, students?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Now, this chapter has certain terms that we are going to discuss. So, the first one is tissue culture. See, tissue culture is the whole entire procedure wherein a new plant is developed from a part of the previously present plant. And we call that part as the X plant. And this tissue culture, meaning the growth of the plant, is done in laboratory conditions under sterile area and nutrient media. It is grown in laboratory conditions in sterile area with nutrient medium. Nutrient medium is that you take the part of the plant and you put it in the test tube, and then you provide all of the things that it requires for its growth. Like normally, if you talk about the growth of the plant, then what all things will it require? It will require the plant hormone, isn't it? Then it will require sucrose, like the carbon source. It will require vitamins, amino acid. So the nutrient medium, it contains vitamins. Then it contains amino acid. Apart from that, it contains phytohormones. Phytohormones means plant hormones. Are you people able to listen to me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, can you explain what A dot A is?
Hmm?
What after vitamins A dot A?
Oh, that is amino acid. It's short for amino acid. Right, amino acid. Amino acids are the building blocks of proteins. So amino acids are required by the plants in the nutrient medium. Vitamins are required, right? And phytohormones are required. Apart from that, inorganic salt. Inorganic salt is required, and also a carbon source. These all things are provided in the laboratory condition, and with the help of all of these things, the plant grows. And remember, for example, if you are going to the plant and you took out the tip of the stem, so that tip is your ex-plant. If you took a leaf to grow a new plant, then that leaf becomes the ex-plant. So it doesn't matter which part you are taking, it's just that whatever it is the part, that becomes the ex-plant. Now, this property is present in plants, right? You can't take an animal tissue and generate an animal tissue, isn't it? But have you people ever heard about stem cells?
Yes, ma'am. But I don't know what it is.
See, stem cells are those special kind of cells that are found in the placenta, in the umbilical cord. And many a times people are researching on that. It is that with the help of those stem cells, a lot of diseases can be treated, and also sort of you can say humans also have this, but this capacity wherein the plant can generate the whole entire plant is known as totipotency. So the capacity to generate whole new plant from the explant. Meaning you took the explant and you generated a whole new plant from that. We call it as totipotency. This is the phenomena, you can say the property, the capacity that the explant has. Okay, this is the first thing. Then comes micropropagation, another term. Micro, what is the meaning of word micro?
Small.
Yeah, small, anything that is tiny, right? See, micropropagation refers to the process wherein a large number of plants can be made in very short durations using tissue culture. Okay? It is the method of growing with thousands means a lot, right? A lot of plants. So thousands of plants through tissue culture. So tissue culture and micropropagation goes hand in hand. Whenever, for example, you study tissue culture and of how the behavior of tissue is like, and then you want to apply it, so you'll apply it to the field of micropropagation. Clear?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Now see, if I talk about micropropagation, or if I talk about tissue culture in general, can you tell me which part of the plant are you using? Is it the somatic cell or the germ cell? Hmm? Think and answer. I
Can you
said,
repeat the question?
yeah, the question is, in the process of tissue culture or micropropagation, the like whatever tissue you are using, are you using it from the germ cell or from the somatic cell? Tell me. Like example of explant, I'll write here. Explant example.
Ma'am, what were the two cells? Germ cells
Hmm?
and germ cells
Somatic
and
cells. So yeah, so what will the explant be? Will it be the germ cell or will it be the somatic cell?
somatic cell.
Yes, somatic cell. Now, you people, first you have to understand the difference between somatic cell and germ cells, right? Somatic cells are the body cells. Now, if you can see here, I have written tip of the stem, roots, leaves. These are somatic parts of the plant. If I have written, I would have written ova, which is the, sorry, not ova, ovule and pollen grain, then that would have been germ cell. But these are somatic cells. So since the cells that are used in the tissue culture, they are somatic cells. So if I am using somatic cells, then what do you think? How will the offspring look like? Hmm?
Meaning I didn't understand.
Okay, wait. See, I am saying that when you people remember the concept of asexual and sexual reproduction.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
during the process of asexual reproduction, what used to happen? Only one parent was involved in that process, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
And when only one parent was involved, then any part of the parent body was involved in the process of asexual reproduction, right?
Yes.
Hmm. When we talk about the sexual reproduction, what was involved?
Parts of two different parents.
Two
Parts
different
of
parents and gametes were involved, right?
Yes.
So after the process of asexual reproduction was done, the offsprings, they were genetically and morphologically, meaning they were clones of the parents. You people remember this? Clones.
yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes.
You might have studied in class 10th also, 11th also, right? They are
Yes, ma'am.
exact
They're
copies,
identical.
replicas. Yeah, identical from their parents. But when I talk about sexual reproduction, are they identical?
No
No.
No. Why?
variations because
There is
there
variation.
Very good. Variations are there. So same thing I'm applying over here in the case of plants. We're not talking about animals. So when the tissues that are used for tissue culture, they are somatic cells, meaning body cells. So what would the offspring be like?
same as the parent.
They'll be exactly ditto copy, isn't it? They'll
Yes.
be clones, right? Are you people convinced or not?
Yes. Understood.
Sure?
Yes, ma'am.
And here, when we talk about those exact copies, we don't call them clones because we're talking about plants. So they are called as soma clones. Soma clones. Soma refers to the somatic cells. Clones you already know. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubts?
No.
Now you can note it down.